glitching up. All right, this is part 2 of You Are Not Alone. It's not going to be very, very long, so we're going to get right into it. But we had left out in Romans chapter 8, but I'm going to pick it right back up in Psalm 68, and I'm going to start reading at verse 5, okay? It says, a father of the fatherless and a judge of the widows is God in his holy habitation. God in his holy habitation. God setteth the solitary in families. He bringeth out those which are bound with chains, but the rebellious dwell in a dry land. And as I said in part 1, sometimes we are not paying attention or taking advantage of the opportunities for when we are alone. Because sometimes we are alone for a reason. It's not always the devil and it's not always the enemy. Or sometimes, like I said, sometimes men go into prison and they find God. But it's because that's when he has your attention. So now you don't have to go to prison to do that. Now you may be in your home. You might be at work. You may be somewhere and you're alone. And sometimes he may be trying to get you to listen, get you to pay attention, or use it as an opportunity to seek his face. To hear that still, small voice. But we have so many things going on, so many distractions. So many distractions. 300, 400, 500 channels on satellite. We got Fire TV. Social media. That hustle and bustle, that gotta go, gotta do this, gotta do that. All the time, constantly on the go. And we're not paying attention. Are we waiting for that still small voice? Are we using it as an opportunity to pray to the Father and say, what do you require of me? What do you require of me, Lord? Let's go on over Hebrew 13. I just want one verse, really. Hebrews chapter 13. Hebrews 13. And the one verse I need is verse 5. Let your conversation be without covetousness, and be content with such things as ye have. For he has said, I will never leave thee nor forsake thee. And he won't. Now, I know we get the feeling. I've gotten the feeling. You may get the feeling. We get those feelings. Those feelings well up inside of us where God's not listening to me. God feels so far away from me. I understand. Been in those places. But you either believe what he says or you believe your emotions. You trust your emotions. You trust his word or you trust your emotions. Now, he said he'd never leave you or forsake you, but there may be something that you or I, we may be falling short on. Something we may be missing. Something's going on. We got to get to the bottom of it. You may pray just to reveal that to you. Before you make your request known, maybe you got to find out, okay, well, what's going on? Because if your request is not being answered, then there's something else. Is there something you need to forgive? Is there something, some kind of issue you need to have resolved? Do you need something, maybe something in you that needs to be revealed in you? Is there some sort of uncleanness in you? It could be a plethora of things. But you can use this time of being alone, this time of separation, this you can use it. You're going through it anyway, use it. You're feeling it anyway, use it. Let's continue. Psalm 25. Let's go to Psalm 25. Spend a lot of time in Psalm chapter 25, and I'm going to pick it up at verse 16. Chapter 25, verse 16. Turn thee unto me, and have mercy upon me, for I am desolate and afflicted. Alone. He's feeling alone. The psalmist is feeling alone. Okay? The troubles of my heart are enlarged. Oh, bring thou me out of this distress. Look upon my affliction and my pain, and forgive all my sins. See, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. I had read a little bit of this earlier, but this is when you are feeling desolate, when you're feeling alone, when you're feeling isolated, when you feel like all your enemies are all round about you. And you feel like there's no escape. The word is your refuge. The Messiah is your refuge. You find his word, you cleave and you cling to that. And sometimes when you have a brother that dwells with brother, sister, whatever, that dwell with you that's also in the word, you fall. You fall into this pit, they can help you out. They can help talk you through it. They can help you walk you through it. Sometimes the Most High put the brethren in your path for that purpose. For when you fall short, you have help. You have a relief. That's what it's about. Let's go to the last two places here. Philippians, sorry. Let's go to Philippians 4. Philippians chapter 4. And verse 6. Be careful for nothing, but in everything, by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God. And the peace of God, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. And the peace of God, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. Some of us sometimes we have to understand. Sometimes we got to be grounded when we get into these places, especially mentally and emotionally. We got to be grounded. And sometimes when you have brethren or someone you can reach out to that can pull you out of that place, pull you out of that pit, put your feet back on solid ground, and bring you out of that loneliness that's there. That's what the brethren is for. That threefold cord. Let's go to our last place and close this out. John 17. John chapter 17 and verse 17. Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth. As thou hast sent me into the world, even so have I also sent them into the world. And for their sakes I sanctify them, that they also might be sanctified through the truth. That's what each of us are. We're sanctified. We are set apart through the truth. Neither pray I for these alone, but for them also which shall believe on me through their word, that they all may be one, as thou, Father, art in me, and I in thee. That they also may be one in us, that the world may believe that thou hast sent me. That the world may believe that thou hast sent me. And the glory which thou gavest me I have given them, that they may be one, even as we are one. One in unity, brothers and sisters. I in them, and thou in me. That they may be made perfect in one, and that the world may know that thou hast sent me, and hast loved them, and thou hast loved me. Father, I will that they also, whom thou hast given me, be with me where I am, that they may behold my glory, which thou hast given me. For thou lovest me before the foundation of the world. In these last times, in these last days, we're going to need one another. We're going to need we're going to need one another to help strengthen one another, to build one another up, to keep one another on the path, to encourage one another, to inspire one another, to pray for one another, to heal one another. We're going to need each other for so many reasons. And I think there's a lot of missed opportunities out there. A lot of missed opportunities. Chances where we can get closer to the Father. Now, I'm gonna cut this lesson, short. It's this one is a short lesson. You guys have to forgive me, but believe it or not, I am having some technical difficulties. But I wanted to bring this message to you guys. Next week I'll be back. Should be back in regular in studio. But I wanted to encourage you guys, especially those who are feeling alone, especially those who are feeling isolated and feel like they have nobody. There's nobody there to help them, no one to dwell with them. We do need one another. We do. Because when we're not around one another, then we start to slip and we start to slide. We start to kind of veer off the path a little bit. And you can veer off the slightest integer, the slightest degree. And the longer you go, the further you're away from the path that you see. We learn that in geometry. And that's what happens on the path. And now you start to feel lonelier and lonelier and lonelier. More alone, more isolated. Now you're so far off the path. That's why it's important to dwell together. That's why it's important to dwell in unity. And when you get off the path, then your brethren can say, hey, whoa, come back over here. Let's reel it back in. Let's reel it back in. That's why we have one another. That's one of the many purposes. So I want to encourage you, for those who are feeling alone, you don't have to be. Get with the brethren, call someone, reach out, pray for one another. Send me an email, foibiblestudies@inbox.com, foibiblestudies@inbox.com. You have a question, concern, anything like that. You're trying to inquire about Remnant Ranch that we're trying to build up. Reach out. You're not alone. Or at least you don't have to be. Hope this message has edified someone. So until next time, this is the Fountain of Israel Bible Studies class. Shalom, Israel.